And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. It's Andrew once again with another live stream here Sunday, September 12th, 2021, 9:02 a.m. Pacific time. Hope you can hear me and see me okay. We had a little bit of trouble last week, although the replay was okay. They cut, I guess YouTube, what it does is if you're having bandwidth issues or they're having some issues on their end, they will cut out whatever was lagging or whatever kind of problem, and it was no buffering in the playback. But during the live stream, there was definitely buffering, and I don't think it was on my end. I think it was on YouTube's end, but let's hopefully, knock on wood, today we'll have some good bandwidth. We'll have a good live stream. We got the 16-inch laptops here. Good morning to everybody. Let's say hello to a few people. Let's start from the top here. Good to see Constantine. How are you, my friend? And I think we can get rid of the music. And we got Raphael, our new moderator, who's obviously been contributing so much. I made him a moderator. Get ready for another great live stream. Thank you, Raphael. Yes, we got the 16p here. You can see it on the bottom right-hand corner, but we're going to get into that in a moment. We're going to talk about the webcam, which was supposed to be full HD, according to the press material, but it's only 720p. So I'm going to reach out to Lenovo and ask them what the deal is on that. Good laptop, by the way. We're going to talk about that. Good to see William Cohen here. Looking forward to another great live stream. Hopefully better bandwidth this session. So far, it's looking like it's holding up. Hopefully that will be the case throughout the live stream. We're going to go for an hour today. Today, the New York Giants play football. I'm going to watch them, American football, obviously, for those outside the United States. Yes, Steve, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, Marshall, once again. Fareed, my friend, how are you? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We got Than Lee here. Good to see you. Raphael, I said hello. And yes, this is a great way to start the week. I love having this live stream with you guys. Jeff is here. No buffering so far. Good morning to Handquake. How are you, my friend? Video and sound is great today. Thank you, Raphael. All is good. I do not have it. It's not yet available in my neighborhood as far as fiber is concerned. Fareed, I wish it did. Was available, I would have it. I don't care how much it costs. I would get it. Yes, the 16p does look nice. I appreciate that, Tom. Parsa, hi, how are you? Great to have you here today. Yes, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Matcha. All right. So what do we have here today? Let's go to the super source here, and we can see here we have the two bottom screens below. You see we have 4 laptops. So, and if I go here, the two in the back are the IdeaPad 5 Pros. They're the 16-inch laptops. I took a look at. My full review on those are underway. I got to finish those today. I will hopefully get them out tomorrow. And then the two in the front, this one, the one on the left, is the Dell Inspiron 16 Plus, which I did my full review already. And this one to the right is the one I dropped this morning. Well, didn't drop it literally, but I dropped the video. It's the ThinkBook 16p Gen 2. A lot of potential on these. I agree. Here you can get a different shot. I don't have enough space on my desk that I'm live streaming on my table here, but you can get an idea. We'll go look at them one by one. But the reason I wanted to bring these up today is because I think it's a good time to take stock as to what is available as far as the 16-inch laptops are concerned. And I wanted to say that I think that the 16-inch category is a blossoming, burgeoning category, and I think it's the right mix between productivity with the 16 to 10 screens. The 16 inches obviously gives you the extra screen real estate over a 15-inch, not quite as big and heavy as a 17-inch. And so what we're getting is a nice blend here, a combination between productivity, portability, and I think power, because some of these, and especially the two in the front here, do pack some power under the hood, as evidenced by the numbers we saw in those two reviews, respectively. Now, the ones in the back, of course, I want to say Inspiron, but these are the IdeaPad from Lenovo, or the Yoga. What are they? They're IdeaPads. They're IdeaPads. Again, Lenovo makes it very confusing for the consumer as to what is what. But these two in the back, and you'll see them here in the back, This one on the left is a Ryzen-based laptop, obviously, and the one on the right is the Core i7. I think it's 11370H. This one has, and let's go to the, I just want to see real quickly what I don't want to give you the wrong information because I've got so much balancing here. The Ryzen 7 5800H, which is a great processor. It's also got the GTX 1650, and in the one to its right has the MX 450. So a little bit difference in terms of combinations between CPUs and GPUs. So that's a little bit to see just exactly what you're doing. All right, let's see who else is in here. Love from the Himalayas. All right, my friend, Abihav Garg. Which is the overall best, Suhail? Well, that's a very interesting question because I was going to do a battle of these 16, and so I don't want to give away too much today, but I think you can get an idea between these laptops. Let's go to this. Let's go to this one. Between all these laptops, I gotta think if you want more power, the two front laptops here, the Inspiron 16 Plus and the ThinkBook 16p, are two good choices. Now, on the Inspiron, you're getting a 3K display. So what does that mean? It's a 3072 by 1920. These are all, by the way, 16:10 aspect ratios. But these two front ones, and this one, by the way, is a 2.5K display. That's 2560 by 1600. And we'll talk about the two in the back in a moment. We'll talk about refresh rates. But as far as refresh rates on these two front ones, these are 60 hertz. Now, these 60 hertz will not be quite as good for gaming. It won't be quite as good for smoothness as you would with the two in the back, which are both 120 hertz displays, which are excellent. But nonetheless, these are higher. Well, this one is a higher resolution, a slightly higher resolution with that 3K display. This one is 2.5K display. These are both, this one's a matte display. This one is a pretty, I don't know if it's a semi-glossy or you see my reflection a little bit more than this one. So it's a little bit more glossy on the Inspiron. Now, I did, again, like I said, I released this video this morning and it's on this one. Now, one thing I wanted to let you know about on that one, the press material, and I think even the website even says it at Lenovo.com, that this one's supposed to have a full HD camera. So it should have it's a Windows Hello camera, should be full HD, but it's not. It's a HD 720p. It's not 1080p. And I really am not sure what's going on with it. I did, and I could bring up the camera here. I did go through the settings and I wanted to see maybe I'm missing something. And I can move this to sort of show me at least a little bit. You can sort of see it here. So I go to the settings here and it's saying 720p. There's no 1080p option. And it looks to me 720p, although it's not a terrible 720p webcam. I mean, I've seen a lot worse, but this is definitely not a 1080p webcam. So take it for what it's worth, but that's the deal on that one. So not sure. This week, I'm going to reach out to my contact at Lenovo and ask him what happened to the 1080p. Was that a typo on the press material? Or was it originally supposed to have a 1080p and then you switched it to a 720p? So I'm not really sure. Hey, Jan Henrik, everybody got really sick you got really sick after your second vaccine. Yeah, that's not a good one, the second one. I couldn't watch last Sunday, but my favorite laptops, most of Lenovo ThinkPad, Surface Laptop 4, and the Dell XPS 15 and 17. Yeah, those are all very, very good laptops. One of the funky 1080p interoperated. Well, like I said, 1080p should be 1080p on this one, according to the press material. And I looked through it, and I'm saying, where am I? Maybe I'm doing maybe there's a mistake here. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I didn't see anything to indicate that that's a full HD. How is the fan noise on the Inspiron Plus for general usage? It's not bad. These are not loud. This one does not have loud fans. And neither does the ThinkBook, by the way. So, Duck Vision, how are you, my friend? I've seen typos on Lenovo's press kits here and there. Yeah. It happens. You know, my guess is, and this is just my theory, again, I have nothing to base this on other than my own hypothesis, but I think they were originally intending this to have a full HD camera on it. And it makes sense because the ThinkBook line, if you really think about it, who's it geared towards? It's geared towards small to medium businesses, or SMBs, as they like to say in the industry. And the small to medium businesses do a lot of remote work right now, and the camera has become of utmost importance. So it would have been nice to have a 1080p on this, but again, 720p is what we got. Not a terrible 720p webcam, even though I called it a con. I've called it a con in the end of my video because well, A, I think it should, these all should have 1080p in my opinion at this point. And B, it's a 720p here in 2021. I think there's no excuse at this point. Now, it wasn't terrible, but it definitely could use a 1080p webcam. No problem, my friend. You like the Inspiron Plus from my reviews. All right, thank you. I'm glad you checked it out. Good to see Jeremy here. Any news on the ThinkPad X1 Extreme Gen 4? You know, I reached out to Lenovo about that one because I'm really anticipating that, and they don't have one yet to give me. So I don't know. You know, I know a lot of customers who ordered them early got them in. If you go to Reddit, you see some people got it. I know someone on my Discord server already has one. I can't go out of pocket for it, and I don't even know if I can get it. I don't know what the lead time is. I haven't checked in the last week or so, but I would love to review it, you know that, and the P1 workstation. So a lot of things coming up on this channel, people, so stay tuned. I anticipate getting it. I've been told by Lenovo I'm going to get it, so I have no reason to doubt them, of course. I've always gotten it from them, and I don't expect this to be any different. Raphael says laptops over $1,000 in 2021 should all have a 1080p webcam. I really do believe that at this point. I gave them a little bit of a pass most of this year because of the pandemic, and planning, of course, takes 24 to 48 months from R&D to production, typically in the industry. And now we should start to see some of these 5 megapixel 1080p webcams, which we've already started to see. Remember, again, they were expensive laptops, but one good example is the Dragonfly Max, what I looked at. That had a really nice 1440p camera on that one, 5 megapixel camera, good for Skype, good for Zoom, good for those things. So there you go. We have 54 of you watching. Okay, that's good, but we only have 24 likes. So people, I don't understand. What's the problem? Hit that like button if you're enjoying this live stream. Let's get it spread out over YouTube. Super chat, super stickers help support the channel. Membership, there are 3 tiers that also help support the channel. Really could help the channel because this is not cheap, people. Running this channel, having the bandwidth, getting the stuff. Sometimes I got to go out of pocket, big money. So definitely helps out. So whatever I get as far as revenue from the channel, I reinvest it back into the channel. I don't keep it for personal reasons. I reinvest it. I buy new camera gear. I try to up the level of my production quality, and hopefully that comes through. So any help at this point certainly is much appreciated. All right, now back to this. Love from India. Good to see you, my friend. So keyboard layouts, as you see, they all have something in common, and I want you to guess what that is. And that is, of course, they all have numpads. Now, the implementation looks very similar on the 3 Lenovos, the ThinkBook and the 2 back there, the IdeaPads. What do you think about the numpads? It's been very polarizing in the comments of these videos that I've been noticing. Do you like the numpads? Do you not like the numpads? I know, William, you'd like the numpads, and you thought the one from today, the ThinkBook 16p that I released this morning, had a decent, not a great, but a decent implementation, and that would be this one of the numpad as far as efficiency and how you can use it. Well, let us know, people, what do you think about them? So after doing a bit of digging, according to Duck Vision, there are 2 camera options, 720p. You might have gotten to the to the issue here. 720p IR, which is what I have, and 1080p privacy shutter. Lenovo has several camera parts to confirm this too. So that is a very good thing. Thank you, Duck Vision. That really helps me answer this question because I wasn't sure. But it sounds like, and that probably is a very plausible explanation. So the camera on this one, this is an infrared camera. That means it's a Windows Hello camera, whereas the 1080p apparently is not a Windows Hello camera. So the review unit they sent over, and I think this is the only one available right now to order, is the Windows Hello. So that's a very interesting trade-off, right? Now, the other thing is, this is only available right now, one SKU, and I put the link in this live stream's description. So if you want to check it out after, go ahead. But it is a Ryzen 7 5800H. That's an 8-core, 16-thread processor. We've seen it before, but it is also available, potentially, not yet, doesn't seem like it's available yet, with a Ryzen 9 5900HX, which is an even more powerful processor from AMD. Not available yet, just so you know. Now, it also has a 3060 Max-Q GPU. It's an RTX 3060 from NVIDIA Max-Q. It's a 75-watt GPU. So for those wondering about the TDP of that, it's 75 watt. And the thing I noticed about performance on this laptop is very good. I liked it, but they kept it very cool. The fans do a very good job of keeping the laptop cool. And the thermal profile on this has been very good. It didn't show much thermal throttling under heavy load. If you watched the video, you saw that I did the Prime 95 stress test, which puts it to the max. I didn't see much throttling. So it maintained pretty good clock speed. So that's going to be good for gaming, and you saw from the numbers. And I think, by the way, I made a mistake on one of the gaming frames per second. I think I mixed the ultra and the low. I reversed them. I think they should be reversed. So I'll make a comment in that video description later on. So according to William, these Numpads of these class of machines make sense since they are geared towards a lot of business users who may use spreadsheet software. Numpads on these PCs are laid out for fast numeric input. And remember, especially to the one on the right here, or I can put it on this camera, this one is geared towards small to medium businesses. And that's the other issue that I have with this. This is a very expensive laptop, about $2,300 for that SKU. And the more I thought about it, it's more expensive than the Inspiron. This is $2,300, and this was, I think, $1,450 as configured, right? I think you can go to $1,650 all decked out, and that's still more expensive than this one. So if you want to go to the 3060 on the Inspiron 16 Plus, then you can go with that extra $200. You also double your storage. But anyway, this is a small to medium business laptop. The build quality is slightly better, I think, on the ThinkBook, although this is good, don't get me wrong, but it is significantly more expensive, right? So that is something to consider when looking at this laptop. Now, having said that, if you are a small to medium business, this is an excellent laptop. The screen is really excellent. I'm going to do head-to-head on these. I'm going to do the 16-inch laptop showdown. It's going to take me about a week or so, but I'm planning on doing it starting this week. I know I make a lot of promises I can't keep lately because I am only one person, but I'll do my best to get it out. But these are very, very interesting segments, especially the ones, if you see in the back here, these are less expensive, hard to get here in the United States, although I did leave some links for the SKUs. Hopefully they're still available. I think you can get one. You look at the links below. Microcenter has a SKU. Costco has a different SKU. And so just keep your eyes peeled on those. Now, any other questions on these laptops? Because I think they're pretty interesting. So according to William, business users will probably buy these in bulk. Yeah, and they get a discount. That is true. Now, small to medium businesses tend to buy maybe a couple of them. Maybe they buy 3 or 4. Maybe they buy 1. But $2,300, although it's not outrageous, it's a little bit more expensive than the consumer-based ones we have here. So you ask yourself, well, is it worth getting that? Because if this is $2,300, this is $1,450. That's a pretty big difference, obviously. What is it? $850, $900, whatever it is. My math is terrible this morning. I got to drink my coffee because I'm not fully awake yet. All right, so Very interesting. 69 of you watching, 47 likes, a little bit better. Please hit that like button. Let's get this spread out of YouTube. We've already been live for 22 minutes. I can't believe how time flies when you're having fun. Now, which laptop for color correction graphics designing with a big screen? So I did do, so let's take a look here for real quick. This one I did this morning, and you saw the video. 100% coverage in terms of the sRGB. You're looking at about, what, 75% Adobe, 80% P3, and then I think 70%, something to that effect for the NTSC. These are good choices. Similar with this one, another 100%, I think, on this one. Now, this one is claimed to 400 nits as far as brightness. I measured 415 on this one. This one, not quite as bright. They say 300 nits. I think I got a little bit over 300 nits, right? I got somewhere in that area, or I got a little bit above that. So a little bit brighter on the Lenovo ThinkBook, and the ones in the back are measured at 300. I believe these are 350 nits. I don't remember. Check out the video I did on those. Also bright enough. Again, all of these are good for both indoor and outdoor use because they are relatively matte displays, although the one on the left here, you can see more reflections than I think on those two in the back and on this one. So pretty interesting stuff. Please compare a keyboard detail and screen max and minimum brightness. So I go over the brightness in the videos, and I said this is 415 nits. This one is 303, over 300, even though that's rated at 300. I think these are 400 nits in the back, if I'm not mistaken, these two. So, and I think they measured more than that. So again, go to my video. It's been a couple of weeks. I got to remember which one. Now, battery life is pretty interesting. I'm going to save these two for the video that I'm going to release on that for battery life. But on these two, this one I got, I think I got 10 hours on the Dell, and I got, and this one has a 71 watt hour battery, and it did 8 hours and 42 minutes. And that led to about 7 to 8 hours mixed use. This one, 10 hours, you're looking at, I guess, 8 to 9 hours. This one has, I think, an 86 watt hour battery. The ones on the back, I'm going to reserve for the video. I don't want to give too much away because then nobody will watch. But they're good battery life. Not outstanding, but good. How about the difference on the keyboards of the IdeaPad and the ThinkBook? So if we go here, and I can close out for a moment, you can see, I don't know if there's too much of a difference. Let's take a look. You can see that the Numpad here, and I don't know if I should, maybe can go in a little bit more zoomed in. I'm looking at the two in the back. These are all Lenovo's. You tell me. I think it looks fine. The layout looks pretty similar. I don't see any differences between them, but I could be wrong. But from a cursory look, I don't see a big difference. Andrew, are the three screens on the laptop as good as the 3.5K OLED? No, they're not as good. That is, Jeremy, that is an exceptional display. That 3.5K OLED on the XPS 9510 is on another level. And I showed my video on that, right? I got lucky maybe with the display jackpot, but 100% coverage across the board. So that was pretty good. Yeah, they're identical, Jeff. I agree. They are identical. There's plastic, I would say, okay, so there's, good question, Dan. There's plastic around this one. This is glass. Well, this might be plastic also, but it might be plastic on this. And these are, I would say, plastic. So yes, there's plastic around the bezels. Not a big deal. They're thin bezels, very premium laptops, especially these two. They don't break the bank in the back. This one is a pretty good deal for the price. This one's more expensive as it's geared towards small to medium businesses. Which one has the best I/O? So let's think about that for a moment. The one in the back over there, which is the Intel-based IdeaPad, has some pretty good ports, including Thunderbolt 4, HDMI. It has a USB-C port as well. So that's a pretty good one. It got a headphone jack, of course, and a full-size SD card. Let me just make sure. Yeah. So that was the full size, both of these. The only difference on this one is this doesn't have Thunderbolt 4. But other than that, they have pretty much the same type of ports. Inspiron gives us a Thunderbolt 4 port, an HDMI, a USB-A. It's got a full-size SD card reader, headphone jack. This is a really good one. This one, which is AMD-based, of course, full-size SD card reader. This one has a headphone jack, right side. You've got the two USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports, and on the back, two USB-A ports and your power port. The only thing missing on that, and I mentioned that in the video, is a SD card reader. There is no SD card reader. So I would say the two in the back have the best I/O, as well as this Inspiron 16 Plus. I'm going to talk about battery life on the two in the back on the IdeaPads in the upcoming video, so I don't want to give too much away on that. But the two on the front, I already did on that. The Dell has a little bit better. It has an 86 watt-hour battery. This has a 71, and it got about an hour or so better in terms of performance, in terms of battery life. I'm comparing to the Dell XPS PC. The port selection. Oh, okay. The port selections on Lenovo are better than the Dell. So the port selections on the better than the Dell. Yes, the XPS line, obviously William doesn't have any of those ports other than having Thunderbolt and USB-C ports. So yes, that is an advantage given to these laptops, all of them actually, when it comes to that in a lot of ways. I prefer, according to Quanti, and he was telling Venkat, I prefer the HP Envy 15 for better cooling and screen and better build quality and as a touchscreen option. I got a video on that. I'm just trying to finish up. I'm so behind, people. My apologies on that. Thankfully, the 16:10 OLED screens are starting to roll out. Asus announced the ProArt Studio 16 and 16 Pro. Yeah, I saw that. They didn't send me one, so hopefully they will once the first tier of reviewers get them, I guess. I don't know. I was kind of hoping I would be getting that, but we'll see. Which one has the best speakers? So the speakers were surprisingly good on the ThinkBook. They're okay on the Dell. I would say they're just okay. Same goes for the ones in the back. I think out of the speakers, the best one would be the ThinkBook out of all four of these. Not yet, Russ. Not yet. I think we're going to hear something soon. I can't talk more about it, but for obvious reasons, I can't talk. I think you know why. But when I can talk about that on the Spectre News, I will. Okay? So hang in there. We're almost there. Okay? That's all I'm going to say on that. Your first tier 2. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe the brands don't think so. All right, I appreciate that, Raphael. Yeah, please hit the like button, people. Let's get this spread out over YouTube. We have 77 of you watching. We have, let's see, 59 likes. We can do better than that, people. I know we can. Super chat, super stickers, memberships. Let's help. Let's get this channel to the next level. I need your help, people. Any of this has excellent webcam. I wouldn't call any of these excellent. I would call them adequate at best. Again, 720p around all these. Again, according to Duck Vision, I think his information is probably correct. And I think it makes sense that this is a 720p. This one over here on the ThinkBook is a 720p Windows Hello camera, whereas the 1080p variant of that will not be Windows Hello. That makes a lot of sense. Do any of these have a glass trackpad? I think this one... I think these two do. It's hard to tell nowadays. These two, the two front ones, I think do. This is some kind of smooth surface. I think these are also glass. I think they're all glass. But again, don't quote me on it. It's hard to tell. I know it sounds crazy, but it's hard to tell. No problem, Pavel. Good to see you. Better late than never, right, my friend? Have you seen the HBook Studio G8? Not yet. Not yet. Which one has the most comfortable keyboard? So I talked about it yesterday. This is a little bit shallow. These two on the front are a little bit shallow. I don't love the keyboards. I mean, all four are good keyboards. Don't get me wrong. They're good keyboards. They're not ThinkPad keyboards is what I'm trying to say. Those, to me, are the best. And then I would say the next best one after that would be the Surface keyboards. So those are my favorite. Now, having said that, very good. They're good keyboards. They're good for comfortable. They got backlighting. This one has a white backlight against these dark gray keys. This has the backlighting on this could be better. It could be brighter, but it's there. And these are good too. So a little bit shallow in terms of the key travel on the ones in the back, and this one as well. So Quanti, that was a good that you brought that up, because Lenovo did just announce the Lenovo Slim 7 Pro 16, which is a more premium than the IdeaPad. Yes. It's so funny. I wasn't invited. They invited the more mainstream media to that event that Lenovo had. I did the press briefing on it, so I got a tour of it and everything, but I didn't get invited to go hands-on with it like some of these other publications, which are, I guess, quote unquote, mainstream publications, if you want to call them that. And I get a lot more views than they do in terms of reach in a lot of these laptops. So I was kind of surprised that Lenovo didn't invite me, but that's okay. That's okay. I did go to the press briefing, but we're building the channel here. We're growing, and things are really starting to look up now because the views have started to go up. If you notice, the views are starting to rise steadily, and I think we're out of the summer now. We're now into some of these new stuff that's coming in. So there you go. Once one uses any of these keyboards for a while, you get used to them. That's a very good point, and will not notice these minor differences. Absolutely. I think you hit it right on the nail right on the head on that one. Since Lenovo scattered the Yoga branding, I'm now confused which is the 2-in-1. None of these are 2-in-1s, by the way. None of these. These are all clamshells. There's no 16-inch 2-in-1 that I'm even aware of. It might be. I'm just not aware of one. But these are not clamshells. And a couple of people commented on some of these yoga videos I did. How come I didn't show the pen? How come I didn't show the different modes, tablet mode and all that, tent mode? And that's because it's not a convertible. It doesn't have pen support. They're not touch screens. The yoga branding has been rebranded. The moniker has been rebranded to mean a certain level of laptop. It doesn't mean it's a convertible anymore. It doesn't mean it has pen support or even a touch screen for that matter. So just so you know. Why is my previous comment being ignored? I don't know what your previous comment was, Osama. I don't ignore. I do the best I can. I'm only one person. Why do you think companies don't come up with good keyboards nowadays? I have an i7 4th gen ThinkPad from 2015, and it is a better keyboard than some of the most expensive laptops in the market today. And I think it has to do with they're trying to go thinner, they're trying to go lighter, and I think they're trying to save space in any way they can, and they're going to sacrifice key travel. That's the one thing that definitely goes when they do go thinner and lighter. So it won't be quite as good, some of these keyboards. Now, of course, key travel is not the only aspect of a keyboard. There's other aspects to it that are very important. So yeah, I find the keyboard's not quite as good. And again, especially since they've gone thin and light. So hopefully that answered your question. And I'm glad you were able to ask it. Osama and Russ, thanks for mentioning that. That's appreciated. No problem, Osama. According to William, Lenovo needs to improve the naming conventions on all their PCs. I agree. I've talked to them about this. The way it is now is somewhat confusing, very confusing. And it's and here's the danger that they've painted themselves into, or the corner they've painted themselves into. By rebranding the Yoga line, it's confused a lot of the retail buyers of this, the big box stores, the Best Buys, the Costcos, the Microcenters who do carry them. But there are a lot of other outlets don't carry them because they don't want to get returns from customers saying, I bought a Yoga, but it doesn't have support for pen. I can't use a pen. I can't convert it into a tablet, but it says it's a Yoga. So the brand confusion is a very real thing. So hopefully they'll straighten that out at some point, hopefully. Yes. So according to Duck Vision, the LG Gram does have a 2-in-1. That is correct. Now, interesting, I can give you a little bit behind the scenes. LG, or the PR company that represents LG, asked me if I wanted to review the LG 16 I think a couple of months back in advance of it being released. And I said yes, and then I never heard back from them. So for those wondering, where are the LG reviews? Well, I'm wondering that myself. So there you go. Sir, according to Lorenzo, you're such an expert on these matters. Well, I don't know about an expert. I really enjoy this stuff, so I hope it comes through. Are you also a computer or laptop technician? I might as well be, but I am not. No, I am not. I'm just somebody, I'm a fan. I'm like you people. I'm like, I just love this stuff, right? I love this stuff. And I love being, and I feel fortunate and privileged to be able to review this stuff and bring it to you every week. All right, which one should I buy? The Dell 7610, which is this one on the left. i7, 16 gigs of RAM, 3050 GPU, and the IdeaPad 5 Pro, 5800H, 16 3050, which is good because that is available as a 3050. I don't have that one. I have the one with the 1650 and then AMD variant. It just depends. I really don't see a huge difference between the two in terms of the performance. So it's really going to come down to the other things, the display. Do you want 120 hertz display? Because this one does have 120 hertz. This one has a 60 hertz display. So does this one. Those two have 120 hertz. So for that reason, that may be a big reason for a lot of people, especially if you do occasional games here and there, you want a better experience. That 120 hertz display with that 2.5K resolution is going to be great. This is a 3K resolution, but it's a 60 hertz. Now, these are great. Now, are you going to do color grading? Are you going to do color? You need color accuracy. I think this one's a little bit better than this one, but not much. I think it's pretty much a wash. So it comes down to, do you want to have that higher refresh rate? To me, that's a big deal. Now, of course, the Ryzen 5800H has been great. Pair that with the 3050, you'll get some pretty nice performance out of that. Same to be said for the Core i7, for the Intel variant. So there you go. Adam missed a big portion of the streaming. No problem. I'll keep it up as a replay for those that are late or missed it. Have you mentioned which one of these can be upgraded to 64 gigs of RAM? Can you or anyone who is watching clarify? So I don't know if any of these can go to 64. I don't know the answer to that, believe it or not. I did put a message out to Lenovo on these. So this one is pretty interesting, and hopefully this will help clarify a little bit until I get some more definitive answers from Lenovo. So this one, and that's this one over here, this has 8 gigabytes soldered in, and then there's a RAM slot that can go above that. So I think theoretically you can go to, 32 plus the 8, that's 40. My guess is 40. I don't have any confirmation on that on this one. Again, you're stuck with that 8. I don't think you can go beyond 32 in that second slot, but I'm not sure. So again, that's just my guess. On this one has open RAM slots. I believe you can go up to, well, actually you might be able to go to 64. I am not sure, to be honest with you. This has 16. In fact, is this a RAM upgradable? I don't even remember now. Can somebody remember on the Inspiron? Let me go to that video real quick because I can't remember. You know, there's so many videos right now that I have to be careful which ones I'm saying now because there's so many and I don't remember. So if I go to my videos, and I'm just going on my other off screen here just to see here, I don't remember. Can you believe this? So I'm going to the video. And according to this video, and I'm glad I put chapters, by the way. Let's go to this camera. You can sort of see what I'm doing. I'm glad I put chapters because then I could tell you about user upgradability. And according to this, yeah, so there are 2 RAM slots, as I thought. And you can see me looking at the RAM. I think you can go to 32. I'm not sure about 64. I'm going to reach out to Dell. I'll find out, and I'll leave a link. I'll leave a comment in this video or in that video as well. So that's a good question. Thanks for asking that. Andrew, the i7 Idea Pro has what Wi-Fi card? Oh, God, I don't remember. We got to look at the videos. So the Wi-Fi card, I don't remember if it's Intel or MediaTek. I don't remember. I can't remember. I'm getting old. I'll look at it at Duck Vision. We'll look in a minute. We'll see. How is your Lenovo 7i? And I'm torn between the AMD and the Intel. It's very good. And I called it the Intel comeback on that one because I think it's a very good overall gaming laptop. That was very good. Can the Dell 7610 i7 3050 compete with the IdeaPad Pro 5800H 3050 in terms of performance considering thermals? You're going to get better. You're going to get better. How should I put this? You're going to get better multi-core on the IdeaPad 5 Pro with the 5800H. Not much better. In fact, let's take a look, and I can look at some of these benchmarks. So on the, and we can go here. So to give you a good example, so let's go to the Geekbench on this one, right? So this is 7927 and a 1516, right? And on this one, but again, this is a GTX 1650, so keep in mind you'll do better with a 3050. On this one, so that's 7290. So for those that are interested, you could sort of see it like this. 7297 multi-core, and this is the Ryzen 7. No, this is the, I'm sorry, the front one is the Core i7 11800H processor. The one in the back is the Ryzen 7 5800H. That's a 7290. Better so far a multi-core on the Dell. However, that one does have the GPU is a little bit less because that's a 1650, so keep that in mind. Single core scores better on the Dell, as you can see, 1402 for the Lenovo, 1516. So what is my takeaway? So you're looking at a 3050, right? So the 3050 should bump up that number a little bit from the 7290 back there to a little bit better. So I don't see a huge difference, be honest with you. So it's going to come down to the thermals. It's going to come down to the overall performance. Which is the cheapest among those laptops? Well, I think that Ryzen is pretty inexpensive, and so is that these two in the back are less. I think one is $999 or something that I've had, or $1,100. Don't remember. Look at the links below. This one on here is the most expensive. This is $2,300, and this one is is $1,450. So you get an idea. Now, while we have this up, let's take a look. So this one did 7279, and this one has the Ryzen 7. So this is interesting. This is the Ryzen 7 5800H with an RTX 3060 Max-Q. And you notice something, this one did better in the back. So it may be due to the thermal, they've tempered the performance a little bit on this one compared to that one. Interesting. And then on the one in the back, hold on. And you can see that's the weakest out of all of them. That one is 5161 and a 1583. So multi-core is definitely the strong suit of a Ryzen. And here you can see all four, sort of. Again, I have so little room for these 16-inch laptops. Are you enjoying this live stream? We got 90 of you watching. Hopefully you like it. So let's hit the like button, people. We got 74 likes, 87 of you watching. So that's been pretty good. And just for those joining us late, it's Andrew back again here with another live stream. We've been live streaming for about 45 minutes or so. And we're looking at the 16-inch laptops that I've already got a chance to look at. And they're here. The two in the back are the Lenovo IdeaPad Pro 16s. The AMD on the left and the Intel on the right. And then, of course, the one over here in the front on the left is the Dell Inspiron 16 Plus. And this one on the right is the Lenovo ThinkBook 16p Gen 2. That's an AMD-based processor. This one on the left is a Intel. Imam is saying, I'm going to join a new company in Berlin, and I am offered a few hardware choices for front and back end programming. Which should I prefer? The MacBook Pro 13 M1, the MacBook Pro 16, which is, by the way, this one that I'm using, or the ThinkBook 16p Gen 2. Wow, that's a very hard choice, my friend. So it just depends. Look, if you're in the Mac arena, you want a MacBook, then of course, obviously the choices are either the M1. I wouldn't get the 16 yet. I would wait if you can. I don't know if you have that option though, because you want to see what the M1X has to offer in a 16-inch laptop. So I have the 16-inch from 2019, and that's Intel-based, obviously a Core i9. 9th gen, I believe, on that one, or 10th gen, I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, so that's what this one has. The M1, then your other choice would be the M1, what was it? The M1 13 Pro, the M1 MacBook Pro 13. And I got to say, that's a good one also. Very good all-around laptop. So again, you want a Mac camp, you're in the Windows, what would be better for you? So that's, you know, we could have a whole live stream, a whole discussion on that. So it's really hard to choose. I know it sounds like a cop-out, but it really is hard to choose because it just depends on what your personal preferences and needs are. For those people watching these live streams later on in the playback, should also hit the like button. Yes, I appreciate that as well. Thank you, William. That's a very good point. I would appreciate that. Yeah, thank you, Raphael. You got it. Okay. And if you haven't caught Andrew's latest video, and that is my latest video on the Lenovo ThinkBook 16p Gen 2, go ahead, people. It's over on my channel, but don't do it till after the live stream. That's all I ask. Lorenzo is liking the live stream. Good. And your review of the 4 laptops, so I already hit the like button. I appreciate that. Thank you, Lorenzo. What is your laptop of the year so far? Oh, this is a tough one. The laptops that I'm going to consider, but I haven't decided which was laptop of the year. I'm going to look at the Dell XPS 15 9510. I know some people are not going to be happy about that. The display is that good, people. It's that good, and the design is important to me. So I'm going to look at the Dell XPS 15 9510. I'm going to look at this ThinkBook is very good. I'm also thinking about this ThinkBook here for the 16-inch. I'm liking what I saw from the Envies, but again, I need to see more from the Spectre line as well. So from HP, I'm going to wait a little bit. But these two in the back here are good budget options as well. So I'm going to have to divide them up into categories because they're all different segments. So stay tuned. That's going to be a whole video on that, Jeremy. I know it's hard to, it's really, honestly, it's very hard to answer in a one sentence or one word sense. I just can't tell you because there's too many factors that go into it. You got it, my friend. What specs are available for the ThinkBook? Remember, the best part about it, as well as the 14-inch when they were launched, is what they could be spec'd up quite a lot. There's only one SKU right now. If you go to the link I left in the live stream's description and in the video that I released this morning, if you go over to Lenovo's website, there's a limited supply for the one that I have here, and that's this one. And this is running the Core, oh, not the Core, the Ryzen 7 5800H from AMD. It has a Ryzen. It has an NVIDIA RTX 3060 Max-Q GPU, has 6 gigabytes of GDDR6 RAM, video RAM, and it has, it's a 75-watt GPU, and it has 16 gigabytes of DDR4 3200 RAM running in dual-channel mode. That's the only thing you can get right now, 512 gigs of SSD storage. So that's, to answer your question, Julius, that is what's available right now. Now, that could change, and if availability of the Ryzen 9 5900HX becomes available, I'll let everybody know. Can you comment upon the display and maximum brightness among the 4? Okay. So this one is 400 nits claimed, right? So this one's I'm sorry, wait, yeah. What did I get on this? Yeah, no, 400 nits, I'm sorry, 400 nits claimed on this one, 300 on this one. This is 302. Let me just see something real quick. The ones in the back I believe they're rated at 350 each, and I think I got 362 on those. So they're all at least over 300, and I think one of them is over 400, this one. So there you go. So you're looking okay. You're looking okay on all of them, okay? Andrew, I'm looking to buy a laptop by the end of November. I was looking at the IdeaPad Pro, Slim 7 Carbon, and the Pro, and the NV14. Is it worth waiting to November for more laptop releases? If you can wait, I would wait, only because there are a bunch of laptops coming that I can't even talk about that will be in the mix. So definitely, if you can wait just a few more weeks, you might as well wait. Unless you need something now, my motto has always been, if you have a job to do and you can't wait, then go pick the best one that's out there right now. And don't, because there's always something new. There's always something going to be released. So, but if you can wait a couple of weeks and it's not urgent, then I would wait, because I do know for a fact there are a few good ones coming out that I just can't talk about. One can get an idea if a PC is a big power user by feeling the power brick about a half an hour after it is on, yes. If it is hot to the touch, then you know it's drawing a lot of power. That's a very good point. Now, this one comes with a pretty big brick. Well, it was 130 watt, right? This was 130 watt, this one. This one came with 95, and I didn't feel it getting overly warm. I don't think this draws as much power as as some of these others. This one brought a bigger brick than this one. This one didn't draw as much, didn't have to, because this one has an MX450. This is a GTX 1650. So it's just a matter of which ones are drawing more power. So again, we could have a whole discussion on that. No problem. All right, I'm thinking of waiting until laptops with a Windows 11 pre-installed instead of doing an upgrade. So Donald, that's a very good point. Now, they're going to be releasing Windows 11 on these new laptops, I would say the first week in October. So stay tuned. There are some laptops that I can't talk about yet that should have Windows 11 pre-installed. So just hang on there. We're getting there. I just ordered the Inspiron 16 Plus. All right, my friend, it's a good choice. It's this one right here. You can see it better over here. So pretty cool, nice. After I watched your video, according to Jeremy, I saw a couple of days ago at $9.99. The Acer Swift X does seem like a steal. Very impressive battery life and performance in a 14-inch form factor. Yes, that is another one that we have to consider for a laptop of the year, under $1,000. Although I don't know what's going on over at Amazon. So it showed $9.99, and I was told by Acer $9.99, and then they keep raising it over at Amazon. I'm not sure what kind of games they're playing over there. They raised it to $10.69, then they did $10.99. So I'm not really sure. It's supposed to be $9.99. Now, having said that, at $9.99, this thing is a steal, because what you're getting on that one, obviously the Ryzen 7 5800U, it's the mobile processor from them, from AMD. It had the Ryzen RTX, 3050 Ti, I believe, in that one. Yeah, I believe it was the Ti, right? Anyway, good performance out of that one. 14-inch laptop. Portable, I think it's 3 pounds, maybe a shade above 3 pounds, a smidge above 3 pounds. Very portable, good build quality, nice 1080p display. The only thing I would say on that one, it's not a 16:10, it's a 16:9, 1920 by 1080, but still a nice display nonetheless, a matte display, no glare, no reflections. It's a winner. $9.99. If you want portable power and good display, you're going to go with that one. So again, I don't know why Amazon is showing that higher prices. I'm not sure what they're doing there. Hopefully it'll come down. Yes, RTX 3050 Ti on the Swift X from Acer. And I want to thank Acer for sending that over. I got to send it back. But I've been enjoying that laptop quite a bit. If you didn't see it, check it out. That review was released this past week. It goes back to supply and demand. The more people buying tends to force the prices to increase. Yeah, it does. But it's kind of, I like if a brand tells me it's going to be $9.99. You would think they know how to control their pricing, and it's from the Acer store on Amazon. So it's Acer, really. It's not Amazon. I would say it's Acer. But it was $9.99 when I did release the video. That same day, it was $9.99, and I noticed some people already bought it through my affiliate link. So that was good. Raphael says, awesome live stream. Thank you for your efforts, time and efforts. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. And thanks for moderating. I appreciate that as well. According to Agent Coop, thanks so much. Yeah, I really just don't want to be in an endless paradox of waiting. Laugh out loud. That's always the thing. I'll definitely try to wait as long as I can. So if you can, here's my thing. If you need it now, get it now. But, a big but, there are some laptops coming that I can't talk about, right? So if you catch my drift, you want to wait. You want to wait. You want to get all the options out there before you make a decision. All right. Hello, Future Martian. Do you think HP Spectre X360 14 is enough for a mechanical engineering student, or is there any other two-in-one that's more powerful? So I'm not an engineer, and I don't do that kind of stuff. But having said that, there's no discrete GPU. That has integrated Iris Xe graphics, which are perfectly fine, depending on what you're doing. But if you're doing intensive graphics work, you might want to get that if you want portability, but there's also an option for an external GPU, which obviously adds to the cost and everything. But that has a Thunderbolt 4 port that supports that. Now, if you need something with a discrete GPU, I would look at the one I just looked at, the Acer Swift X. For that price and that RTX 3050 Ti, which is a little bit, obviously it's going to be better than an Xe graphics, I think, and it has a Ryzen processor, which is really good for multi-core performance. You might want to look at that Acer Swift X if you're looking at a 14-inch laptop. Now, the downside to that one is that's a 16:9 aspect ratio, so you don't see quite as much on the display as you would, say, on a 3:2 as you get on the XPS, on the Spectre X360 14, which has a 3:2 aspect ratio, a much taller display, so you see more on the display. You do less less scrolling when it comes to web browsing. All right. I'm so behind. I'm doing the 15 this week because I have to send it back as well. I think that's when I got to send back. Yes. And the 17. So, yes, that's coming up. And I apologize. I just need help. I need people who are able to video edit. I'm one man right now. So my channel's growing and I need to add staff. So it's just finding the right people, because I am behind. So I apologize in advance. Paul P. Wingert. I don't know why I said Paul. Maybe it is Paul, but it's P. Wingert. Have you heard anything about Intel integrating the ARC GPU into laptops, or are we too early for that? I think we're too early. But it's going to be coming, I think, right around the end of the year or maybe the next year. Who knows? I don't have any information yet, as of yet. Jan Henrik, just read about the new iPhone. Rumor says that it can make calls without contract. Soon, laptops make contact with satellites. Okay. Yeah, so we should be seeing the new iPhone, right? They gave out the invitations. I'm not too excited about it, to be honest with you. I think the one after that, which got leaked, is more interesting to me, which will happen next year, the 14. But I don't know. And I tried to do the Samsung videos, but nobody watched. Nobody. Worst performing video for me in 4 years on a big name. So that tells you volumes about who my audience is. 32 gigabytes on the Inspiron. Okay. So that's the max you can do on the Inspiron. Is that confirmed? That makes sense. There are 2 RAM slots. You could do 16 and 16. Can you please show how the backlight is on the Inspiron? So it's going to be hard to show, but I'll do my best here. So let me wake it up here. All right, so I'm going to probably have to bring it to the camera. So let me unplug it. And let me turn on the backlight. Yeah, it's really hard to show. Okay. It's not very bright, to be honest. So this is it in its brightest. There are 2 stages. I'm going to go to that camera. Hold on. Very hard to see. Not a great backlight, to be honest. So hopefully that helps. What a live stream, huh? We got 89 of you watching. We've got 104 likes. All right, that's good. We're getting that like button up. As I mentioned earlier, super chat, super stickers. I don't think we even got it. I hope I didn't miss a super chat. I would have seen it. Never mind. There's no super chats today. No problem. So that's the backlight on it. Not quite as good as the others. Yeah, hit that like button. G. Wang is asking, hey, Andrew, what's the difference between the RTX 3050, 3060, 3060 Max-Q? Gracias. All right, Mr. Wang, well, or G. Wang, I don't know if I guess you're a man or a woman. Hey, Andrew, what's the difference? So 3050 is obviously for obvious reasons, 3050, and it depends on which wattage you're going to get. So the 3050 is not going to be quite as good as the 3060, and I showed you these numbers. And the Max-Q didn't really perform that much better than the 3060. That's just a standard 3060. So the Max-Q, I didn't notice any big difference between the two, to be honest. So it's just how they implement them, what wattage they're using, what's the thermal solution also plays a part in that. But just as a bare bones kind of thing to say, 3050 is going to be the weakest. Obviously, the Ti a little bit better. And then you have the 3060 and then the Max-Q. I'm not really sure what the difference on the Max-Q is because I'm not seeing a huge difference, to be honest, from the 3060. If anybody knows, let us know. Can the ports output the dedicated GPU or discrete GPU to an external monitor? Important question comes to clients who need this. Are there ports that can output the dedicated? You mean, is there a Thunderbolt port that can support an external GPU? I think that's what you're asking. I'm not really sure by the question. Yes. So the Intel models here have the Intel model. There's only one, or there's two Intel models have Thunderbolt 4, and you can see them here. This one and that one. They support dedicated or they support external GPUs. Now, DGPU or discrete GPU, I'm not really sure I understand your question. Maybe it's me, but maybe I don't know. Which is better, the 9420 or the Inspiron 16 Plus? The 9420 I reviewed, what was that? Was that a 14-inch? And this is a 16-inch. So it's just different, right? Those are different devices. 16-inch laptop to me is different. It has a bigger display. So which one is better is not necessarily better. What fits your need is really what the question should be. Will you do a detailed performance comparison between the 7610 and the IdeaPad 5 Pro AMD? When will the video come out? So I'm going to be doing a video on all of these together, and that should be coming out by hopefully the end of the week if I can get everything done. That's a little ambitious, but maybe by next weekend. And I'm going to go through each one, and we're going to score them, and we're going to see which one is the best. So, of course, I can rely on Duck Vision to give me the answer. 3050 is a lower tier, 4 gigabytes of video RAM. That's right. 3060 and 3060 Max-Q have 6 gigabytes of VRAM. 3060 Max-Q is just a lower wattage. Now, that's 75 watt on this one, by the way. 75 watt on that one. Mainly for chassis that cannot handle the heat output of a higher wattage. And that definitely makes sense. So that pretty much answers that question. So thank you, Duck Vision, once again. Appreciate it. Do you recommend that the IdeaPad for engineering students? Yeah, I do recommend it. Depends which one you get. Probably try to get the 3050 GPU if it's available in your country. But again, it just depends on what your needs are. It's hard for me to answer that for everybody. Everybody's needs are different. So the X1 Extreme can run its graphics on external monitor through the HDMI port. I guess, yeah. I guess it could. Yeah, that makes sense. So that would be through a Thunderbolt port, is what you're asking. If I'm not mistaking that, and so I think that's what you're saying. So yes, that makes sense. Do you think going for an AMD processor for battery space is worth dropping Thunderbolt? So Victor, I haven't been seeing that much great battery life out of these AMDs that everybody's talking about. I noticed, remember, I got better battery life, so believe it or not, on the Intel model over this on this AMD model, about an hour difference between the two. And I was kind of surprised by that, to be honest. So I don't know if it's necessarily the case. Thunderbolt 4 should not be underestimated, people. Thunderbolt 4 brings a lot of versatility. Multiple 4K monitors, an 8K monitor, external GPUs, Thunderbolt docks, just to name a few things that you can use that Thunderbolt 4 that you can't do on a laptop without that. So that, let's not understate exactly the importance of Thunderbolt 4. Not everybody's going to feel it's that important, but for a lot of the segment of the audience, it is, especially if you do run multiple monitors and those kind of things. Not everybody's going to do it. I understand not everybody's going to put an external GPU. I understand that. But the ability to run multiple monitors to make it easier than without that, then I think that should not be understated. Ryzen 9 mobile, that's the 5900HX versus the Ryzen 7 5800H mobile. The HX is going to be better. I mean, it's going to have better, should on paper have better performance. I don't have an HX to compare it to. But on paper, it should be better. And that's the other thing with this one, like I mentioned earlier, it's not available yet for the ThinkBook 16p. It is an option, but it's not available yet over the website. The only way you can get it right now is this one, the Ryzen 7 5800H. All right, well, it's over an hour, people. Can you believe that? And I think we're sort of at the end because I'm going to go watch some football. I've been waiting all year for, or the whole summer, to get to the football season. So for those who enjoy American football, it's back. And hopefully the New York Giants, who are my team, will be winners today, but who knows? I've been so used to them losing, so who knows? All right, people, let's wrap it up here. I want to thank the moderators for doing such a good job. I want to thank everybody. We had a nice show up here for the live stream. A lot of good stuff here. I have a lot more on the way. I know I'm behind. I'm going to try to catch up very soon. We're going to start banging these out. I am banging them out as fast as I can. So if you didn't check out the video today, go over to my channel. Check out the Lenovo ThinkBook 16p Gen 2 that was released today. So I want to thank everybody. And again, I will see you in the next video. Have a great week, everybody, and take care. Bye-bye.